Please take your seats so we can begin today's program. My name is Ron Taylor from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas. I am the beloved outgoing chairman of the Richardson Chamber of Commerce with the opportunity to preside over today's event. I want to welcome you to the 56th annual meeting of the Richardson Chamber of Commerce. It certainly has been my distinct pleasure and privilege to serve as the 2012 chairman of the board. It is also my pleasure to be the MC for today's luncheon. And I'm very excited about our program and glad you're in attendance to celebrate our accomplishments of 2012 and look forward to 2013. Before we begin our program, there are a few housekeeping announcements. First, parking in the garage across the street is complimentary today, courtesy of the Eisman Performing Arts Center and the City of Richardson. They will raise the gates on the garage at the conclusion of today's luncheon for your convenience. Second, and this is very important, Senator Cruz is open to taking questions following his address if there is time. And since we got a late start, that could be an issue. There are note cards placed on all of the tables, and if you would like to ask a question, you are requested to write it down on a note card, hold it up, and somebody from the chamber staff will come by, pick it up, and bring it to the head table where our chamber president and CEO, Bill Spruill, will ask the questions, collect those questions, and then ask those questions. And last, please silence your mobile devices as a courtesy to all of our speakers, please. Our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by an individual who is no stranger to anyone in this room, a decorated war hero and a native Texan. Congressman Sam Johnson is one of the few members of Congress who was in combat as an U.S. Air Force pilot in both Korea and Vietnam. Take a moment to reflect on this next statement. His endurance and perseverance at the hands of the enemy for 7 years in a prisoner of war camp in Hanoi, 42 months of which were in solitary confinement, makes him a true hero and the perfect choice to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance of the United States of America and the Texas Pledge. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Sam Johnson, Congressman from District 3.
Thank you. Will you all join me in the pledge, please? Thank you so much. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And will you join me in the pledge to our state flag as well? Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Congressman. Please enjoy your salads while we continue with the recognition of our sponsors and the introduction of our dignitaries and special guests. Let's begin with the recognition of our annual meeting sponsors. Our presenting sponsor is Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas. Chairman's level sponsor, Metro PCS. Director's level sponsors, AT&T, Atmos Energy, Avnet Inc., Bank of Texas, BBVA Compass Bank, Dean Air Conditioning, Fossil Inc., Frost National Bank, Goodman Networks, Lennox International, Methodist Richardson Medical Center, Reliant Energy, Richland College, the University of Texas at Dallas, Texas Instruments, and Vision Bank, Texas. We also have numerous table sponsors, and they, along with the companies I have just mentioned, are listed in your program. Please join me in thanking the sponsors of the 56th annual meeting. As you continue to eat, it's now my pleasure to introduce our distinguished guests who are seated at our head table. Please hold your applause until all of our guests have been recognized. The Honorable Ted Cruz, U.S. Senator. Congressman, the Honorable Sam Johnson, District 3. The Honorable Bob Townsend, Mayor of Richardson. Burt Marshall, President, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas. Chris Luna, Deputy General Counsel of Metro PCS and the 2013 Chairman of the Chamber of Commerce. Dr. Kay Eggleston, President of Richland College and Vice Chair of the Community Division of the Chamber. Kim Quirk, President, Richardson ISD Board of Trustees. Bill Spruill, President and CEO, Richardson Chamber of Commerce. And my lovely wife of 38 years and counting, Jan Taylor. The Chamber also wishes to recognize some very special elected officials and dignitaries in the audience today. Again, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. As I call your names, please stand and be recognized. The Honorable Mike Cantrell, Dallas County Commissioner, District 2. The Honorable Cheryl Williams, Collin County Commissioner, Precinct 2. And I apologize if I miss any other elected officials and dignitaries that are in attendance today but are not here, but my apologies. And the Chamber takes this opportunity to recognize also members of the Richardson City Council and City Manager Dan Johnson. We also want to recognize the Board of Trustees of RISD and Superintendent Dr. Kay Wagner. Would the past chairs of the Richardson Chamber of Commerce that are in attendance today please stand? And last, but certainly not least, I ask both the 2012 and the 2013 Richardson Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors to please stand. Now, join me with your applause as we welcome our head table dignitaries and distinguished guests collectively. Thank you. My sincere thanks to all members of the 2012 board for their leadership and support this past year. The Richardson Chamber of Commerce had an outstanding 2012 with many successful programs, projects, and activities. Many of you are well aware that our Chamber has been recognized with a 5-star accreditation, the highest level accreditation awarded by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. In January this year, the Richardson Economic Development Partnership, a joint program created almost 30 years ago between the Chamber and the City of Richardson to advance our community's economic development efforts, to advance the economic development, earned accreditation from the International Economic Development Council. With these designations, our Chamber becomes only the second Chamber of Commerce in the nation to be duly accredited with a 5-star U.S. Chamber rating and American Economic Development Organization accreditation. I believe that calls for a round of applause. All we accomplished in 2012 could not have been done without the time, effort, and support of so many volunteers, many of whom are in the room today. My thanks to everyone who played a role in the Chamber's successful year 2012. As is the tradition at this annual meeting, we now recognize the 2012 Volunteer Award winners. Please hold your applause until all are recognized. Volunteer of the Year, Kelly Bowman. Kelly is being recognized for her outstanding work as the leader of the Women in Leadership program. Under her leadership, WIL had a 33% increase in attendance at the quarterly luncheons over the previous year. Kelly is a former member of the Chamber staff, now serves on the Chamber Board of Directors. Committee of the Year, the Ambassadors. That includes Tri-Chairs, Charles Gonsalves-AXA Advisors, Mark Kobilka, Make Your Mark Printing, and Sandra Ward, R&S Enterprises. This past year, the ambassadors made over 200 member engagement calls, which helped the Chamber increase our 2012 membership retention rate to 81%. 2011, the Ambassador of the Year, Charles Gonsalves, AXA Advisors. Charles led the way in making member engagement visits, numerous additional calls, attending ribbon cuttings, and other events. In fact, Charles attended more chamber events than any other ambassador. Rookie of the Year, John McFadden, Courtesy Nissan. John and Courtesy immediately engaged with the chamber when they joined last year. John joined the ambassadors, and Courtesy was the sponsor of the golf tournament and the Richardson Business Trade Show. John could not be with us today, but we will certainly make sure that he receives his award. Small Business of the Year, ExperiPro, David Slatter, President. Under David's leadership, ExperiPro conducted surveys for the Chamber and then analyzed the data, giving the board outstanding metrics, which we have used in our membership engagement and retention programs. And he has done the same for our sister organization, the Metroplex Technology Business Council. Those of you on the Chamber know I've always struggled with MTBC. All this at no cost to the Chamber. And we have a new category to add this year in our Volunteer of the Year awards, the International Ambassador of the Year. And that person is Charlie Chen, DFW Technologies. This award is presented to the individual who has devoted exceptional effort in contributing to the success of the Richardson International Business Development Initiative through their involvement in events, programs, overseas promotions, and referrals. There is no one more deserving of the inaugural International Ambassador of the Year than Charlie. His personal knowledge of foreign culture and his connections, both abroad and locally, have opened many doors for Richardson while helping attract foreign investments and helping local companies build their export business. Now, would all of the 2012 Volunteer of the Year Award recipients please stand and be recognized? Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking them. Well, you've probably heard enough from me at this point in time, so it's a break in the action as we move to continue with our lunch, and I will call your attention to the screens where a pictorial history of the past year's events for the Chamber will be shown. Thank you.